What is up, guys? Sky FPV here with Street League Drone Racing, and I am super excited to get chatting with you guys about some super exciting stuff we've got coming right up. But first, let me go ahead and introduce my co-host. Tonight, I've got with me Jonathan Ficklin, one of our OG pilots, admin, one of the people that make Street League possible. How's it going, Jonathan?
Hey, it's going really good. I'm super excited about tonight. We finally get to talk about things we've had to keep a secret from people for a while, and I couldn't be any happier.
Yeah, and I absolutely cannot wait. So I think we'll go through. I guess we'll go through things kind of in the order that we had, sort of our graphics laid out in. But essentially, we made a little bit of a teaser the other day talking about what we are calling Legion's Cup. And one of the things that both Jonathan and I have been super passionate about in the past is team racing. And we've done all types of different team races, and I know there's some awesome people that put them on. But I feel like there's always been something missing at the grassroots level, which is kind of that consistency that we get from a lot of the amazing racing leagues that are out there. So tonight, I'm super excited at presenting our take on that and how maybe we can improve on that a little bit. And hopefully it'll be really exciting. Hopefully it'll be really fun for the people participating in it. I'm super excited. So yeah, let's. Oh my gosh, we got Dubicki in the chat. What's up, Dubicki? So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Honestly, so we have come up with a concept called Legion's Cup, and the idea is that we will have similar to Formula One constructors, otherwise just teams. But the difference is that the way that this is going to be formatted is a little different from your typical team race. So in Formula One, you typically have two drivers, and not only are they racing for their own sake and for a chance at winning the drivers' championship, they're also trying to earn points for their team. And so talk us through a little bit, Jonathan, this how this setup works, how pilots go about earning points, etc.
Yeah, so the idea is that pilots will declare a team, and they will show up to one of the four U.S. Nationals or the championship this year. And they will be racing in the same format as we have been in years past. But they also have the fate of their team on the line. So the better that they do as an individual, the better that their team does overall. The top two pilots from a given team are going to score points for their team. So it's never just going to be a one-man show. And we're hoping that pretty much everybody that shows up is on one of these teams. So as much as it's individual and it's what we've seen in years past, it's also an innovation and in a way for us to kind of introduce team racing to the Street League ecosystem.
Yeah, because I know that travel is really expensive. It's hard to get a big group of guys together who can all go to a race. And so with this format, essentially, there's some things we've done to fix that. So there's a couple things. One is that you were already likely to be at the race if you're interested in Street League. You're already likely to be at the race because you're earning individual points. But two, and the other interesting part about this is that teams are going to consist of 10 pilots, up to 10 pilots, but only the top two are going to be the points which are awarded to that team. So you're trying to, bank on who you think is going to be the fastest pilot as a team manager. But at the same time, if you have guys in your roster that can't make it, it's not going to hurt you super bad at all. The only way it's going to hurt you is if you can only send 1 or 0 pilots to a race. So you just need to get 2 of your 10 pilots to the race, and that will earn you your points. But if you get more pilots to the race, ideally, that'll give you a better chance at earning some of those high positions. So it fixes the problem of the costs associated with traveling as best as we can for team racing. So we're really excited about trying this out. And yeah, and let's talk a little bit about the season overall. So this is going to include the team racing portion of it is going to include 4 races, and those are going to be our national races. So basically only only 4 races count towards the team racing, but you'll be free to race all sorts of street cred races for your own individual pilot glory elsewhere. But for team racing, we thought to ourselves, let's just keep it to 4 races, make sure that we can run 4 really excellent races, and those are what are going to count towards the series. And there's some payout involved too. Jonathan, talk us through that a little bit.
Yes. So, as part of a team's entry for the season, they're going to be paying an entry fee. And the vast majority of that entry fee is going to be going to a prize pot. That prize pot is going to pay out in different ways over the course of the season. The 4 U.S. Nationals each, the top team that performs at each U.S. National, is going to get a payout of $300, and that scales down to 3rd place. And then at the very end of the year, the top teams overall are going to win a pretty sizable chunk of the prize pool. So very excited to put a little bit of skin in the game and to offer teams and pilots a little bit of monetary give back as a gift for their efforts.
Yeah, and ultimately, that money goes to whoever is the team manager, but we hope that they want to spread the love amongst their pilots who earn them. Earn them those points, earn them that championship, and ultimately earn them the fame that comes with that. It'll be really cool to see which team can manage to take it overall. We've also got some other breakdowns here to kind of show, kind of how that goes when you add it all up. So basically, when you look at the season overall, races 1 through 4, those are going to sum up to be half of the overall prize pool that you could take. And then the other half of all of the prize pool is going to lie in that final season position. So that's kind of how it works out. Lots of math involved to find pretty numbers on that one, but yeah, that's pretty exciting. And the other thing to consider with this too is that pilots are. This isn't just teams. We kind of went back and forth on should it be teams of people coming together? Should it be more like a fantasy league where people are trying to pick the pilots they like the best? Yeah, so we went back and forth, and what we essentially decided on is both the pilot and the team manager need to agree that they want to be on that team. So there will be actual pilot contracts involved, etc. And we're going to be releasing those tomorrow for everyone to check out. They're not going to be anything super strict, just hey, I agree to be on this team, essentially. So yeah, that's how the prize pool pays out. That's how things shake out during the season. So it's 4 national races plus the championship race at the end of our season. So that's going to be super spicy and super exciting. And the other thing that we can talk about a little bit is how do you actually build your team and what is the strategy behind that, because we have some interesting mechanics for actually building your team. So Jonathan, why don't you introduce us to that? How do I go about building my team?
Yes, so as you guys saw in our teaser that we dropped on Monday, team registration opens at 12:01. So here in a couple hours tomorrow, team registration will open. And a team has to be able to put together a roster of under 10 pilots. And what we have gone and done is we have been able to give all of the pilots who've competed with us in the past a value. And we're using that value to put a roster budget together. So when a team manager goes to decide who they want on their roster, they're going to have to fall within the guidelines of, hey, I have to have 10 or less pilots, and my salary cap cannot go above this number. And so what we're hoping that'll do is it will prevent some team stacking. We definitely don't want one team that's going to destroy everybody every year with no chance. So this is an awesome way for team managers to have some fun and to really get to compete against each other on the most even playing field that we have been able to put together.
Yeah, and obviously the rankings that we put on pilots won't be perfect. Pilots are always improving throughout the years. So it's not going to be perfectly accurate at all points during the season. Some people just really get their grind on and get, way better. So the thing that we've kind of done to mitigate that a little bit is that there's actually, once we do drafting day, there will be no turn-based team building. So essentially, you got to go reach out to your pilots as fast as you can. You got to pick up the ones you want, and you've got to keep the budget in mind. So there's going to be some negotiating. There's going to be some talks, and we want that to exist. We think that's really exciting when team managers are having to strategize a little bit and compete with each other at the managerial level too. We think that's an exciting part of team racing. So we're kind of excited to see how that goes, and we're super excited to see who gets on what teams and all of the trades and things like that happen, which brings us to our next topic, which is trading. So I guess I'll talk a little bit about this one. So trading is kind of interesting because we wanted to make sure that there is the ability to have trades, and there is the ability to pick up pilots from, who didn't get a team initially. If a team finds himself in need of a new pilot, the one thing that we wanted to watch out for, though, was, of course, I'm drawing a blank here right now. So the thing we wanted to watch out for was if somebody picked up a pilot, like let's say you go get MCK. You don't want to be able to then drop him immediately after that race and pick up the next fast guy that you know for sure will be at that event. We wanted the team registration spots to be a little bit sticky. So if you're going to replace a pilot, you need to pay a 600 street cred penalty for your team out of your team's street cred, which will not affect the pilot's street cred at all. But if
correct you there real quick. 200
oh yeah, go ahead.
Street cred, not 600.
Oh, sorry, 200. So yeah, it's a 200 penalty for replacing a pilot. The trades, though, however, you can negotiate however you like. So if another team has a pilot that you really, you see the future in him, you can do a direct trade with one of your pilots to that team, and you can pick them up if you want. So that's the basic system. You can either replace a pilot from your roster with somebody who's not been picked up on a team during the mid-season, or you can just do a one-to-one trade with one of the other teams. But there's no penalty, obviously, initially once the season kicks off for picking up your first set of rosters. So, yeah, that is how roster changes will go. And then let's jump on to important dates. Jonathan, do you want to describe kind of what some of these dates are?
Yes, I will run through these. So, tomorrow, November 22nd, team registration officially opens. We'll have a document that can be filled out and submitted that will note team managers, team name, any of the managerial stuff, the information that we'll need from you. And we will review those applications, make sure that we have a good team going, that we have somebody that we can trust as a team manager to contact whenever we need to. And then they'll pay their entry fee, and that team will secure their spot. That'll happen between now and signing day, January 15th. Signing day is the first day that teams can add pilots officially to their roster. That's not to say that team managers couldn't, go talk to pilots between now and then and make sure that they have interest and stuff like that, but eventually we'll have spaces on the website for these teams, and they can display their pilots on their team, and those will be official that signing day, January 15th. A week later, we have the final deadline for all of the teams to lock in their payments and lock in their slot. And then 1 month after that is the first national, the first opportunity for these teams to score themselves some points. So that's the timeline that we're looking at. We've got 3 months is what that means, 4 months rather, to the start of the Legion Cup. So it's time. It's time to get started, and I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm so excited for this. This is, I think, going to be one of the more fun experiences I've had with team racing, and that's saying a lot because I've had a lot of fun with team racing, and so I'm excited to, find a way for Street League to be able to share that with all of you guys, and yeah, I think it's going to be really fun. Something to note: there are only 6 team slots, so starting tomorrow, those slots will start to fill up. So if you're interested in getting in on a team, if you're interested in starting a team, go ahead and reach out to us. You can email us at info@streetleague.io, or we'll have some more information on our website as well starting tomorrow, showing how you can create your own team. And then we'll have signing day get started pretty shortly thereafter. So we're looking forward to an awesome season with team racing and individual racing and all the greatness that comes with that. And yeah, that's it. Any last words you want to say as well, Jonathan?
Sure, yeah. The really important targets that we wanted to hit with this series are, one, that it's not going to be overly burdening on anybody. We don't want team managers to have to spend crazy amounts of money to have any chance to compete. We don't want to create a bunch of overhead for the Street League staff because God knows that they work hard enough already. And we wanted the pilots to be able to compete and have fun and not have to do anything that they weren't already doing as pilots. So I think we've done a really good job accomplishing those major points. And the other thing is we wanted this to be super fair. It's really hard to want to get into team racing when you know that there's a team that's going to dominate the scene. So we've done a lot of back and forth and studying and talking to other teams and other leagues on how best to make this an even fight. And I think we found a really good combination with pilot values, with a salary cap, with trade rules, all that kind of stuff. I'm really happy with where it ended up. And if you guys want to compete, we should probably talk eligibility real fast.
Oh yes. Actually, I'll let you take that one because I feel like you've dug into it the most.
Yes. So in order for a pilot to be eligible to be on a team, you have to do one of two things. One, you have to have earned street cred with us in the past. Easy enough. If you have never raced Street League before and never earned street cred, we have a couple of races between now and signing day where you can earn street cred. There's the regional going on at the ranch. That's in middle December, if I remember correctly. There's various different other street cred paying races. If you have a club near you that's starting to earn their stoke with the new system, then they can run a street cred paying race between now and signing day, which is awesome. Or, and this is something that we're probably only going to do for this year, but we have the Faster Together Velocidrone Sim series. And if you haven't already earned street cred, you can compete in this, and that will give you your eligibility going into the Legions Cup season. So
yeah, and that was a request from one of the team managers that potential team managers we were talking to, where he has pilots that he really wants to get into this. He wants them to get into Street League. He wants them to do some team racing, and mainly he wants them to be part of his team. But they hadn't raced with Street League yet, so we wanted to give him that opportunity for people who haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, we've got winter holidays coming up, and we know everybody can't necessarily go down to Florida to race. But we partner with Velocidrone, and Velocidrone is an amazing way to keep your skills sharp in your off season. And Absolutely. So what we said was, hey, if people are going to train and fly Street League on the simulator, we think that should qualify them to get to race, the Legions Cup IRL. So by competing in that sim series, you'll earn your eligibility as well.
Yeah. So. Yeah, super exciting. If you're looking for some sim racing to do, go check out the Faster Together series on Velocidrone. That's also on our website right now. You can go check out that series as well as the winter series, and get to racing, get to earning street cred, and ultimately get eligible for the Street League Legions Cup. I'm super excited. Thanks for joining me in this launch video, Jonathan.
Yeah, thank you.
And we will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for joining. Beautiful.
Yes. Fantastic.
Frickin' love it.